Hello, and welcome to another Contemplative Living. You know, we try to give tools here to help us to live a better life. And one of the tools that's really necessary is learning how to deal with the mistakes that we make in life. We all make mistakes. It's, part of being human. But how we deal with it is critical. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, self-trust is the first secret to success. And that's true. We have to trust ourselves. We have to trust ourselves that we can deal with our mistakes. So let's get to it.
Welcome. Now creating a life of peace. This is Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Contemplations and reflections to help with spiritual living. This podcast is made possible by dharmatalks.com.
So we're dealing with how our spiritual practice can help us in dealing with mistakes. But first, we have to recognize that everyone has faults. Don't be afraid of having faults. Knowing we have them can help us improve. None of us are faultless. Only a true sage or a saint could be called faultless. Or could they? They lived human lives and they made mistakes and they had faults. But their secret was they looked deeply into themselves to find the root and to work with it. So not being aware of your own mistakes is the greatest mistake. Excuse me. If we don't recognize, if we think we're the greatest thing since sliced bread, life's going to throw a lot of obstacles in our path. So we need to recognize our own mistakes and need to recognize that we're fallible human beings. That's just a part of living and being human. So in this present moment, we can return to a state without shortcomings. And what I mean by this is in our spiritual practice, we can come back to our center. We can be who we are, authentically who we are in this moment. Now, that could be a state of faultlessness. That could be a state of purity because we're connected to our higher nature. So even if we find ourselves in the middle of the briar patch with the huge thorns all around us, threatening us, we can come to our center and be present in this moment. And in that present moment, we find the clarity we need to look deeply, to find out why are we in the briar patch? Why are we here? What's going on? So, excuse me, boy, I seem to have a thing in my throat today. So, we turn our thoughts inward to see why we're disturbed, why we're disconnected, and connect to that higher self, connect to our true nature, and allow that to expand our awareness, because it's really all about awareness, aware of who we are, where we are, and when we are. Awareness. Awareness is a level of consciousness that is above the circumstances, that's above the mistakes or the faults. Awareness is a state of being that gives us clarity. a clarity of being. And that's what we want. That's where we want to be. So as soon as we realize and admit our mistakes, let them go. And then start making corrections. It's hard because we tend to judge ourselves, right? We tend to judge ourselves constantly. It's another one of the gifts of being human, right? So, but we need to turn that judgment into more discernment, that we're just going to look at ourselves gently and treat ourselves gently. In that way, we can let our mistakes go. Okay, we made a mistake. It happens. I'm sorry. Now I'm going to see what I can do to correct it. And if we can learn to face our mistakes that way and view them as opportunities for growth, we can transform our lives. Every mistake that we make is that opportunity for us to become a better human being, because we can see the disturbance that occurs when we make a mistake or when we fall into a fault. They allow us to pull ourselves out of the rut, out of the canyon, and reach for that clear, clean air and develop and grow and become who we're really meant to be. So we can transform our lives. We can do it on a day-to-day basis. And using our practice to help us to overcome any mistakes that we may have, and to forgive ourselves and treat ourselves gently with kindness, compassion, and overall with love. And recognize that we are loved, that the universe, the oneness, that greater consciousness has this immense love for us. That is a power that helps us to overcome any mistake we may have made. So facing our mistakes allows us to forgive ourselves. That's huge. We can let go of the guilt and the shame that often comes with making a mistake. We're going to make mistakes. And it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. So, what we need to do is to take a deep breath, center, and come into ourselves. Be who we are. Bring that compassionate self of who you are and bring it into your day. Yeah, yesterday you made some mistakes, but tomorrow's bright because we've learned, and we're going to move forward with what we've learned. I hope you have a blessed week. Namaste.
Thank you for listening today to Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Please be sure to subscribe, listen, and share with your friends wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and the Podbean app. You can find the links to these on David's website, dharmatalks.com, on the Contemplative Living page. Have a blessed week.